glad to see you. Ready to do another fantastic little painting? Super.
Shoot, I think with that, we about have a finished painting. I think I'll put one more little limb there. We'll call this one done. Hope you've enjoyed this painting. It's very easy and bring a lot of good things to your heart. From all of us here, happy painting, and God bless, my friend.
Trick sleep before I disappear. Watch my spirit evade the city it easy. She's lying in the pot, all of it you can see like tears. This is your friends and your soldiers. Yet if you think I'll just run for me, check the mileage on my trainers. My brother's lying souls I've met along the way. I doubt that I was born a rapping. In my mind things that rhymes every day was I meant to spit. Not just an accident, fooling a kid who's realised it pops for him grew up more than his dad did. Is it out of habit that my heart beats? I walk alone through alleyways in search of a truth I would love to meet. I know deceit. I don't want my kids to call my city home and learn the tricks I've learned amongst the robots society's clone. Been grow up quick in the land demons have already claimed. Don't try to challenge time like graphically sprayed on walls or dirty trains. 30 days, won't seek a shortcut whilst I'm driving life. I try to find a way, I follow whether it be wrong or right. I've never held a mic to make friends. Now I'm invisible, still roaming the streets of my youth, but we made up our own rules. Now who am I to love if I can't love my soul? I've lived to learn from my mistakes since I became one of my goals. I've never held a mic to make friends. Now I'm invisible, still roaming the streets of my youth, but we made up our own rules. Now who am I to dream? Maybe I'm just finding more than another MC aiming for the stars before he falls. I've got no girls in my backstage, just got my thoughts and the man in the mirror telling off a boy for dreams he can't afford. Live by the sword, I live by the words I spit on stage or spin in vain in front of ghosts. I'll never please whatever verse I spray. Hear angels laying pieces, man, away the verdict. I'm stabbing the truth with pens I sent to war. I keep accounted, I found bliss in rhymes I wrote out. Still alarm smoke, looking back, I thank stars for keeping it quiet about my first toast. We learned to cope with the cards we were dealt at birth. From cradles to hearses, now pushed towards a fate when in demons observe. Watch teens unlearn what they were taught as kids and heard those who love them the most, not seeing where the problem is. I stole a glimpse to see what's to come in such of an end. My soul's the past, the plans I shattered, never to be whole again. Am I point to sin? Nothing my last bad in a conflict. I like being till my curtain closed, though I read the end of my script. I've never held a mic to make friends. Now I'm invisible, still roaming the streets of my youth, but we made up our own rules. Now who am I to love if I can't love my soul? I've lived to learn from my mistakes since I became one of my goals. I've never held a mic to make friends. Now I'm invisible, still roaming the streets of my youth, but we made up our own rules. Now who am I to dream? Maybe I'm just finding more than another MC aiming for the stars before he falls. And I'm losing my head. And I'm losing my head. And I'm losing my head. Holding the pen, thinking this tune's gonna pay my rent. And I'm losing my head. And I'm losing my head. And I'm losing my head. Holding the pen, thinking this tune's gonna pay my rent.